Good morning and welcome to Business Concepts. Today in class we will be starting Chapter 10, which focuses on businesses in a global economy. During this chapter we will discuss Sections 10.1, the global marketplace, and Sections 10.2, which focuses on global competition. So as I mentioned, today's agenda, we will be talking about Chapter 10, Business and a Global Economy, and more importantly, focusing on Section 1 of Chapter 10, which talks about the global marketplace. Objectives for today's class are explain why the world has become a global economy, and more importantly, explain why people and countries specialize in producing goods and services. The main idea of Section 10.1 is international trade has increased because more countries specialize and offer their goods and services to other countries. Also, the value of one nation's currency in relation to how other currencies affect what business buys and sells to other nations. And two key concepts to take out of this section of Chapter 10. First, what is the global economy, and also what is international trade? As we do with every chapter, we'd always talk about the key terms of each section of the chapters before we actually dive into the material. So the key terms for this section of Chapter 10 are the global economy, the interconnected economies of the nations of the world, international trade, the exchange of goods and services between nations, multinational corporation. It's a company that does business in many countries and has facilities and offices around the world. Trade is a specific area of business. Imports are goods and services that one country buys from another country. Exports are goods and services that one country sells to another country. Few more key terms to finish up for this section. Balance of trade is the difference between a country's imports and exports over a period of time. Comparative advantage is the ability of a country or company to produce a particular good more efficiently than another country or company, and exchange rate is the price at which one's own currency can buy another country's currency. The most important thing that can be said about us is that we all live in a global economy fueled by international trade. The development of global economy is called globalization. General Electric, who has a local manufacturing facility here in Erie, Pennsylvania, who makes locomotives, is a perfect example of a company that is considered a multinational corporation. Other examples include Toyota, Coca-Cola, and Nike. These are all businesses that do business in all different types of countries. The first thing with international trade is that trade allows all countries to meet their individual wants and needs, as well as help others satisfy their own wants and needs. There are a couple of different types of trade that most companies and countries are taking part in. First is domestic trade, which is the production, purchase, and sale of goods and services within a country. This could involve trade from state to state. World trade is the exchange of goods and services across international boundaries. Now, many countries are actually importing and exporting goods and services all the time. One local company based here in Erie County actually has an office downtown, their corporate headquarters, and they do business all around the world. Their name is Logistics Plus, and they actually recently completed their largest shipment in their history. And I actually have a really cool video that I would like to show you. Logistics Plus, as I mentioned, has their corporate headquarters in downtown Erie, Pennsylvania, and they actually just completed their largest shipment within their last 20 years, and they actually had some pretty massive shipments going from South Korea to the United States across the Pacific. So this was a story that was on the Channel 24 Erie Local News, and I do want to have you check out this story from just a few days ago. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Erie-based company Logistics Plus has pulled off their largest shipment ever handled by the company in its 20-year history. Take a look. The company has successfully delivered over 2 billion pound tanks from Montana, South Korea, to Portland,
So 2 weeks is definitely a really long time, but you take a look at the scope of that project and what they were able to accomplish, and more importantly, that they're based right here in Erie County is just amazing.